Hello and thank you very much for clicking on this video by ETV Media. Last week I promised bringing you the story of Mr. Isaac Arthur as a testimony of the kind of economic freedom that a TVET or ICT skill acquisition can bring to anyone who has the boldness to acquire that kind of educational skill. This is a guy whose highest education was a JSS certificate, a junior secondary school level certificate, but he's doing amazing things just because of that skill, that TVET skill that he acquired. He had the boldness to acquire. We'll go now and listen to the story of Mr. Isaac Arthur, but before then, I just want to remind you that if not subscribed to this channel, please do so now. Just click on the red subscription button below, click on the notification bell, and that's it. You'll be informed of all our subsequent video uploads. So now let's go and listen to the interesting and intriguing story of Mr. Isaac Arthur. Thank you very much and for agreeing to do this interview with us. But for those who don't know you, can you please tell us who you are?
Thank you very much for offering me such an opportunity. I'm so grateful. I'm Isaac Arthur from a village around Central Region, closer to Aguna Suedo. So I mostly say Suedo is our capital town. I was just a normal JSS graduate student.
Which village is that anyway?
Gumwakuforidia.
Gumwakuforidia?
Yes.
Really?
It's around Gumwa de Rampon.
Oh, okay.
From Suedo on the way to Apam Junction.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I stayed with my stepfather. My dad didn't take care of me, so initially, right from the beginning of my life, I stayed with my stepfather.
Okay.
And I got the opportunity, when I graduated from DHS, I got the opportunity to come to Accra to study this metal fabrication.
All right, so now let's go back to this. How did you really get into metal fabrication? Did you attend a technical school? How did it all happen? How did you learn the trade? And why did you decide to go into metal fabrication?
I didn't attend a technical school. After JSS, I was at a village doing nothing. So my uncle's sons came to a funeral at our village, but due to my hard work and few things that I did for him to see, he decided to bring me to Accra. He was into drug machines, the pavement machine and all those kind of machines for drugs. Okay, so when he brought me to Accra, he was working with a friend, which the friend was into this metal gate, containers, burglar proofs and canopies. Okay. So when I came to develop interest in the gate instead of the drug machine. I didn't attend any technical school. Initially, I was good in technical when I was at JHS. Mostly good in drawing, few things that when it comes to practicals, I've been performing very well there. So that's how come I came into metalworks. And I cannot say there was no money for me to go to technical school. So my uncle's son coming to bring me to Accra was a huge opportunity for me. I came to Accra year 2000. I learned the work for a year and I came to know everything that I was supposed to know in the work because already I was creative. I knew how to draw and my little understanding of English, everything that we do, I put it on a piece of paper. I was then having my drawing board, my mathematical set and those kind of things because I know that was all my opportunity that I have in the world. So I didn't joke with it. So around a year, I came to realize I've know everything or I found everything that I have to know in the work.
So you came to Accra, you were more or less like an apprentice?
Yes, I came to learn as an apprentice.
So how did you become the boss?
Okay, I learned for a year. I came to know many things. My master came to get my trust in me. So even most of the time when a difficult work comes, he will call me, this is what has come, so I want you to do a drawing on that. So I worked with my master for a while because he knew me, he advised me most way that if you wanted to become an entrepreneur, most way that you have to stand firm, your sincerity, your hard work and taking away laziness and stuff. So when I graduated from the work, I went to a company around Tema, it's around Afarawa. I went there as a second technician. So I was working with the company. I worked with them for like a year and a half. But then I was saying a wooden structure at share sheet. So first of all, waking up early has become my habit up to now. The latest time I wake from bed is maybe 4:30 or 4.
Wow.
I was then the second technician, but because I was not even liking where I was staying, I mostly wake up early in the morning, go to the company, but before I'll get there, none of the workers will come. So I'll do the sweeping, I'll do the arrangement of machines, then I'll start a few things that I can do before they will come. I did that for like a year, before one day the owner of the company came to realize that's what I've been doing. So he decided not to work with me again in the company, but he will be giving me part contracts.
Oh, okay.
So
let me understand. So you were then working the company, but he decided that you no more be an employee.
Sincerity,
okay.
Because there were apprentices whom they have to come and sweep, and they were not coming early. And I, the second technician taking care of those things, he came to like me much that he wanted to give me a part contract of a contract that he will get from his clients.
Oh, okay.
So I quickly came to my master to inform him that this is the opportunity that I've gotten.
Okay, so he got a contract and wanted to sublet part of it to you.
Sub part of the contract to me. So
okay.
I came to inform my master, and my master was happy about it because then he was not even having any senior apprentice that when he get a difficult work, he will help him to do.
Okay.
So I'll be at my master's place. He will call me, go to here. There's a house. This is the owner of the person. This is number. Go and measure it. Then come for money to start the work. So it goes on and on and on. And due to my hard working, most of the time when I go to house for installation, then I've been getting many days in favor from the clients that I've been working with. So it continues up to then. I came to get few clients. So it got to a time my master got a contract at Liberia. He wanted to go and drive one of their ambassadors. So he asked me if I can give him a certain, which the amount I've forgotten. He asked me if I can get a certain amount of money for him. He will handle his workplace over to me, but it will be between me and him because it will be a shame something for him for his family people to come and realize that maybe he has sold his whole company to me.
Wow. Let me see. Your master had a contract in Liberia.
Yes.
And so because he was leaving, he wanted to sell the company
to me. But
he didn't want people to know that he was selling.
My master don't want his family people to know that that's what he has done.
Okay.
Yes. So we sat down, we went on an agreement. I've forgotten the amount, but I was able to pay like 3/4 of the money.
Okay.
To him instant, yes. So he handed everything to me and he left.
Okay. So the family didn't know that you were not the new owner?
The family was not knowing it.
Wow.
But when I was there with my master came to lose interest in the work. And indeed he was on those days an old time were there, and for them, they didn't see it to be their future. That's what I always say. My master didn't see the work to be his future something. He will even sometimes take someone's money, he will not feel like doing the work, blah, 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 a lot of issues. But when I sat down to know my master's mistakes, I realized I can do better than what he was doing. Because I was close with my master, I learned from his mistakes and it helped me a lot. So I was even the first person to introduce to my master, we need not to wait for a client to bring us work before we can produce something. Right. Because gates are of standard measurements. So I decided with my master and I started fabricating a gate by the roadside for sale.
Where was this anyway? Where was this shop?
Around the Emmanuel Eye Clinic.
East Legon?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did about 2 gates at roadside for display as for sale. And I discovered this kind of carport canopy. I learned from a certain South African company. They came and mounted one at Jolu. That was the first canopy, the carport canopy mounted in Ghana, as to what they said.
Okay.
So I learned from them, and I was also able to produce a sample at the front of where I bought from my master as well.
Wow. So before we did, you are now not at East Legon. Where are you now? Where are we now?
This is also part of East Legon. Here is under bridge.
Okay.
Around East Legon police station.
Okay. So you moved from that place to, how did you move from this eye clinic to this place?
I was there. When I was there, my master started up doing this. About 5 years or some years later, I was there, a certain group of land guards came that they have gotten documents on the land, so someone is interested. So when they came with their boys, they wanted to fence the front. And I confronted them. And they say they don't think I have money to buy East Legon land. So I called Special Eyes, whom he's a mentor to me because I've worked with him for long. I called him and I told him, Director, and he said, why, what is happening? He wants to speak with them. So Director spoke with them on my phone and he arranged a meeting for us. So when we went and met him and they told Director that the guys have gotten access of people on the land. So they wanted to sell the land. And Director said, I'm his son, so he'll buy the land for me.
Oh, okay. That's Special Eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we negotiated with them up to 200,000 Ghana cedis those days, which is about, assuming 7 years ago. So even the first 50,000 Ghana cedis payment that was committed to the people was even Special Eyes owns money.
Wow, is it Mr. Porisapon?
So Porisapon.
Oh, okay.
So he paid them the first 50,000, and I went and arranged. I think my second payment to them was 70,000. So I paid up to 180,000 or 185,000 Ghana cedis. So I thought I've gotten access to the land. So after I paid the money, it took like a year. I was there, many people came for my machines, all my machines, to their head office. So
they seized them?
They seized them. They came with their pickup, with their macho boys, whatever. They came and picked everything to their head office at Accra. So I spoke with the assemblyman, and the assemblyman told me that he will let a guy who his name is Aziz. I learned he was those days assemblyman at Abelempe.
Okay.
So Aziz came and discovered this place.
Oh.
And when he came and discovered this place, because it was under the assembly, he went and spoke with the assemblyman. And they took me to the building inspector. They call him Mr. Nkatia, at the head office. So I went and spoke with him, and he said they can locate me here. But when I came here was for those people, the flower people.
Okay. Parks and Gardens.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There were a lot of flowers and stuff here. So assemblyman sat me down that we should mobilize a certain amount of money to compensate them before we will move to the land. So I arranged a certain amount of money, which I think those days it was 70,000 Ghana cedis. I was then not having enough money, so I even added my Hyundai Santa Fe, the 4x4, in addition to the money before I was.
Hey, you even had a car by then?
No, I was then having a car.
Then you were doing well.
I was then even having 2 houses at Oyarifa. One was at Kutam Estate, and one was from Telma to Abukobi. They call the place Ameria School Junction.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting. So let's go back. When did the family of your boss and even the other workers you were knowing, you were working with, know that you are now the boss of the company? And how did they react?
It took them a long time before they came to realize it. Because I did it in such a way that master has given me a target amount that I've been sending to him by the end of every month. That was the agreement we went.
Okay.
But initially my master's wife was here, so anytime that he passed by, the little money that I have, I've been giving her some as a support.
Okay. But was your master's wife aware that her husband has sold the company to you?
Oh, indeed. I and my master were only people who have that agreement. The wife was not aware because, excuse me to use a language, then there was no child among them, so my master was not even into that relationship more serious like. So the wife was not aware then.
But wasn't that dangerous for you? If anything happened, the family could come and say, no, we didn't know anything about it, take over the company. Even your workers didn't know. Didn't you think it was a little dangerous?
There was a little paper agreement. I think I still have that paper.
Okay.
There was a little paper agreement between both of us.
Okay.
Which was my assurity, or which was my assurance that what I was doing was right. And I even placed in thought that even if after 5 years my master decided to come back to Ghana to come and take over his work, by then I'll be getting something out from there that I can do everything with it.
Right.
Yes, that was one of my thoughts too as well.